GasTalk.
What's up, world? More likely, southeastern Michigan. Episode 14 of Gas Talk. I'm Spence.
I'm Chuck. Thank you for tuning in, watching, listening. Coming at you with episode, what'd you say, 14?
14.
More smoke than a Canadian wildfire.
Fucking air quality is bad. The EPA got to get involved. This shit is getting rough to breathe. I smoked too much weed. I smoked too many cigarettes. And the air got smoke in it.
I can't even drive with the windows down, bro. So I'm just hotboxing and chiefing, sweating, dying. The air ain't doing enough, so.
Think I'm going to beat your ass when that car come back smelling like weed.
Nope, I'm driving the little car, not the truck, not the family car.
Gotcha.
But no, hopefully everybody's staying safe, staying smart. If you don't have to be outside, please don't go outside because we want you to stay alive to keep smoking really good weed. But what we got on the docket this week, my buddy?
We got some recaps of some drops, events that happened this past weekend, kind of where we are in the industry as far as, what the market's calling for, or what the market's showing in terms of like consumer spending, wholesale pricing, some stuff like that. Then, the drought's coming up, that ever famous July drought.
July drought.
But then 710 is coming up also, so we'll see what a bunch of companies will do.
One of my new favorite holidays.
That's a good one. But then we got gonna go into something a little personal again with our shittiest weed experience. Or
give you a little story time snippet,
So a little bit to cover here, but
That's the events first. It was a busy weekend, kinda.
Yeah, it was pretty busy.
Long weekend.
Long for sure.
Busy.
So Saturday was the Fear of Booth Chris Smokes drop. They did that up at Shango and Hazel Park.
That was lit. I made it out to that. I actually got to talk to him for a minute. He's really fucking down to earth. Mm-hmm. I didn't know he was from here, so
Chris is cool as fuck.
Shout out to him, and shout out to Fear of Booth. It was pretty good. Did you get a pack?
Yeah, I got a couple of packs. It was smoking. It was doing a little something.
You know what it was? What do you feel like it was?
I feel like it was fire. I could really kind of care less what they put in the bag. I come out of the Ziploc bag generation. I feel it. As long as the weed's good on the inside, you can put whatever the fuck you want.
Whatever name you want on it.
Yeah, so
I feel it. Not a brandy.
No, not at all.
Not a gelato, a super booth guy.
No,
I thought it was straight. I give it a solid 8 out of 10. I'm not blown away by Fear of Booth like everybody else. I haven't got some gassy shit that's to my palate.
So I got some blue dark Z that Jake from Fear of Booth hooked me up with at the store. So we can roll some of that up after. But I just started smoking their dark Z on the regular.
That's gonna blow my mind.
That shit smokes.
Maybe I just haven't had enough of it, but I don't know if certain things are just super hyped.
I will say I've been pretty pleased with the quality that they pump out.
Definitely I wish it was better than a lot of other shit, I'll say.
Easily.
But I'm just looking for, I love gas.
Yeah.
Just gassy gas. But back to the rollout, that shit overall was dope.
Yeah, super sick.
It was pretty dope.
I think it was really well organized. The streets fuck with it.
Through. He pulled up like a fucking boss, had 4 Escalades, fucking Sprinter van. I'm like, oh, he's got to be here when I pulled up. I'm like, is it too early? Because I like to get the shit early.
Yeah,
so I can buy the product because I hate missing out on it.
But you also know you weren't going to wait in the line. When you got there was 8-10 people in the waiting room. And
I'm not waiting. I don't wait in lines anywhere.
A cool man.
That's not a flex. I'm just impatient.
Cool manager came out and grabbed you. And
said my government name and shit in the lobby. I'm like, hello.
Gotcha.
Oh. Yeah.
But no, it was great. So, shout out to Fear of Booth, shout out to Chris for doing their thing. Mm-hmm. Then I guess, Backwoods and Bonfires was this weekend based on...
I didn't know I didn't feel like that was going to be a yearly thing. I thought it was going to be a one-time thing. It was what, 3rd or 4th year?
I ain't going to lie. I thought someone was going to get shot at one of the first ones and that was just going to make a wrap of the event because...
It didn't, though. It's matured. It's made it.
Shout out to them.
I don't know about maturing because I saw the only video I saw, recap video, the one I sent you. Somebody's getting their ass ate on stage.
People eating butt at fucking
consumption festival.
I don't
think that's healthy.
I don't think that's compliant.
I would not pass the blunt to her.
Like, the CRA got to
When
get
she
involved.
got to stage. Hey,
This-
but people have fun. Everybody got a different lane, you know. I'm sure she enjoyed herself. Both of them.
I'll never call in the CRA, but Mr. Hanna, please do something about butt eating at
My
legal
booty pink.
consumption
My
lounge.
booty hole, bro. Have you heard that song?
I've not.
That
I
shit is
don't want to listen.
hilarious.
Nope, I'll hold off on that one. So, butt eating at fucking Backwoods and Bonfires. That's what we gathered.
Yep. I have no idea how the event was. I don't know who went. I didn't hear much cannabis talk about it. I'm sure it was a nice big party, it looked like.
So,
People enjoyed themselves. Hopefully they go get tested. And everybody's, you know, nice and healthy.
overall rating 3 out of 10, just purely off the butt eating. Like, I mean, you're out here for the culture.
Unless that floats your boat.
Hey, I live by a very simple, like, motto: what you put in your ass is your own business. So, you know, do you. But yeah, that was definitely something. But yeah, we got some fresh drops in the Michigan cannabis game, which is kind of lit.
Finally.
A weird little pivot there from butt eating to what's smoking. So.
Smoking. Yeah, I know. I just, like, when I was on the way, Gans is dropping a Dirty Sprite, or Dirty Sprite, I should say. No idea what the crosses are, but
It's a Skittle cross, I know that.
anything with Z, yeah. But
Safe
it's just
to
all
assume.
of how you grow the Z terp, though. 'Cause
Or
some
it could be
people-
Zope now.
Is Zope not a Z family member? Pretty sure it's like a
I
distant
believe so,
cousin.
yeah.
Yeah, but it'll be interesting. If it's not gonna be like the Larry Bird. That was my favorite thing from them. But
I still haven't smoked anything from them, so
ever?
nope.
Huh? I would just assume you have.
I've been smoking weed for too long where I'm not going to spend good money on something called Gans. When we were coming up Gans with that $5 bag, like, you want 35, 40 off me for some Gan? Nah, I ain't doing that. But, you know,
Okay, what else is
get it how you live.
You know about anything else hitting the market or finally coming out?
Yeah, the homies at Michigan, their donuts actually hit the shelf, so
Really? I remember you telling me about that.
they have a pink runs cross and then a Zowers times runs cross, and
Sours.
they're pretty good. So, you know, shout out to Jake and the crew over there for doing their thing on that. They definitely came out really well.
You know who processed the rosin?
Phantom Rolling Co.
Sweet.
So, yeah, no, I think he did a pretty good job. I've smoked a couple of them, smoked super smooth. The Fatties donuts, they just had another drop that came and went stupid quick on their little cruisers.
Little Cruz, I was about to say.
Those donut games going crazy. Like we said a couple episodes ago, like Michigan is
donuts in
easily
the
leading
country?
like the country in donut
I know I
production.
saw a post. It was like, "Where is the fire in Arizona?" And I was like, "Nowhere, bro.
Nah, nowhere.
It's unfortunately like the desert's not producing. I can say that about Arizona, Vegas, New Mexico. I have not hit ever on the West Coast unless it was California.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. So shout out to Michigan for having fire.
Yeah, for having the
Throughout.
bag.
Different types of fire too, because we're not just straight flour.
No, we're getting into the
Straight.
solvent list. We're getting
Yeah.
into like real 6-star, like true bubble hashes.
But like, what's after bubble hash? Because you know how it's always elevating. Like they got hash rosin. You think something's gonna come after?
So the
rosin.
thing is, so like hash rosin a lot of the time is made from, well, not a lot of the times, it is made from bubble hash. But if you properly process bubble hash and cure it and store it, you'll actually get a
like
super,
ice water hash, you mean?
Yes,
Okay.
that's a 6-star bubble hash. A lot of times it's like a 70 micron or 73 micron, but you'll actually be able to press it out in a piece of parchment paper and dab it.
Yeah.
And I
Like to
remember
see
when
that shit come out, and you
Yep.
take the press up, and you go like that, and you just scrape it off. It's yeah. See, I'm getting it again.
But like I remember
I'm
when that
getting it
shit
again.
first dropped out on the West Coast, like it was going for 120 a gram, and people were buying it up in bunches, man.
in
like
bulk.
yeah, like Matt Rise was the first dude I know like really pumping it out, and yeah, he was. It's made its way out to Michigan, and I'm really happy about it because our concentrate market is definitely doing something. Our donut market is doing something. So you
Yeah.
know,
And the prices aren't crazy on donuts. Like I don't know what store I was in the other day, grabbing something for somebody, and it was like $24 for like whole gram flour, like 0.3.
That's probably a Fatty's Donut.
3 grams. I can't remember the brand nor the store.
If it was 1 gram over 0.3, then yeah, it was a Fatty's Donut because I don't know anybody else making them our size.
Or like a 1.2 with like 0.4 grams of rice. It was
Sure.
somewhere along those lines. But prices aren't crazy on like pre-rolls donuts. But I can tell you the prices on bulk flour is not looking
I mean,
as good.
see, I would say the opposite. I've been seeing people raise
In
prices.
whose eyes?
I mean, me as a buyer for a store, I've seen prices and like vendors I have relationships with are starting to up their price with that July drought coming, and you know, there's been a scarcity of good bulk flour, there's been a scarcity of good tested trim. So, you know, people are starting to feel that clamp down this year of not getting paid.
And from the CRA, like they might be revving up for those rule changes if they ever.
Well, rule changes, licensing dues are due soon, so you know, people really got to start counting their pennies. And
Man,
you know,
you knew that shit though. And if you were decent at business, you would plan.
well, a lot of these guys got into it thinking that a dispensary or a grow is just going to be a license to print money, and 3 years in, they've learned the hard way that overspending, overstaffing, overpaying, it's going to end up being their downfall. And
It's still the trenches, bro. I feel like it's still, at the end of the day, it's still about the plant. No matter how many people you hire, you put in position to do shit. If your plant's not good and it's not producing, your
You need-
business isn't gonna.
exactly, you need high quality flour, like you said, but then you need I personally believe any company needs a team of about 5-6 like lead people, and they can run a company, be extremely cost efficient. The company can be profitable. You don't need to hire every fucking
Still gotta
cousin.
grind.
Oh, it's a super grind because the team is so small. But
Yeah.
you know, I was talking to someone who's, you know, has a very large multi-state operating cannabis company, and he prefers to run his company, you know, slim, and you know,
Super
he
tight-knit.
wants the best of the best in the positions,
Yep.
as opposed to having a bunch of people who are kind of
Quality
good.
over quantity.
Exactly. And, you know, he pays his people well. They have great brand loyalty. And, you know, the brand is very well known. So, you know,
Paying people. That's a big part of it, though. Because a lot of these dispensaries don't get that if you're paying an adult, because everybody who's working in cannabis is 21 and over.
yeah.
You can't pay no fucking adult $12 an hour and expect them to give their all to your job.
You get what you pay for, just like anything else in life. If you're going to pay a bud tender $12, $13, $14 an hour,
Make them split tips.
yeah, you're going to get a $13, $14.
You're not even going to get a $13, $14 an hour effort. You're probably going to get like a $10 an hour effort. Because if their tips aren't bunking, like them bitches ain't jumping, taxes still taking out taxes.
Yeah, so let me ask you this. How do you feel about shops that don't do cash tips? They make their
Robbery.
employees put their tips on their check.
Just like the bar, that'd be bullshit.
Yeah,
Because you have to pay taxes on that.
yeah, personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it
I'm
either.
not a fan of it at all. If you're for the people, like you want them to eat. Because that's a business. If you set up your business right, you should be eating somewhat because, shit, it's a business.
Sure.
I guess your job, you still cutting yourself a check. You should want a nice check. But if your people aren't happy, if they're not eating, they're not going to make money for you.
Like, I always look
That's
at,
why slavery was a thing, though. Because some people just don't give a fuck.
yeah, but like me personally, like, and as dumb as this may sound, like,
I'm sorry.
Ace Boogie had it right. Like, everybody eats, be like, you got to take care of your people. You got to make sure your people are happy. Like, there's a big enough pie where everyone can eat. And even if you're eating the crumbs, even these, like, if you're eating crumbs off the cannabis industry, it's still a couple $100,000. Like, there's more than enough to go around. And
I remember back. When did Michigan go wreck? 2019?
yes.
2020, if you were at a decent dispensary, like with a decent flow, your bud tenders with tips, they were probably making like $70K. And for a 21, 22-year-old,
That's killing it.
decent as fuck.
Plus, most of it's cash because it's tips. You're chilling.
You're good. But now it's like, okay, you might have to downsize, but you keep the good people that are worth it, and you show them that they're worth it by paying them. And that could go for cultivation, processing. Like, I don't know much about
Retail. No, it goes at all aspects of the cannabis industry. Like,
that's just life.
People want to be paid their worth, and I understand everybody in the industry is going through that financial, not collapse, but financial. Trying to think of a good word, but
Hardship.
Yeah, financial hardship. But yeah, you need to definitely make sure that your people are feeling valued, and put more focus into your in-store employees instead of worrying about getting, a fucking cannabis influencer. Like,
what is a cannabis influencer?
I know we've touched on this before. This is honestly, I think we touched on it in episode like 4 or 5. But your boy Dank Dad over here was nominated as Influencer of the Year. And we've really been just trying to figure out what makes an influencer
What constitutes
influencer
as an influencer. Because like I've told you, I've told other people, I didn't get into this shit to be an influencer.
I got into this shit just to talk shit about weed and talk shit about the Michigan market on a platform that was my own, or like ours.
Yeah.
And
But it's like, what do you get from that?
see, the thing is, you're getting a whole lot of nothing, in my opinion. Like, I've tried to use influencers in the past, and I was giving them, quite a bit of money worth in product. And yeah, cool. I was getting, views on Instagram from people that I wouldn't otherwise.
Does it equate to?
But chances are, if someone's following a cannabis influencer, they already are somewhat knowledgeable on cannabis brands, and the ones they like, the ones they don't like. Like,
Depends on said influencer though.
but like,
Because are they really a fucking influencer, or do they just follow the people they went to high school with and the people that they fucking met? Like Snoop Dogg, influencer, yes. Why? Because he's done all this shit and has.
But Snoop Dogg is
millions.
transcended and like is a celebrity and
I can
happens to
think of a
like cannabis.
non-transcendent person that's an influencer compared to myself. Like, I don't view myself as an influencer. Yeah, I have a brand. That's it.
You have a show.
I have a show. I got some shit going on. I'm cool.
Like, that's the thing. Like,
but
you never tried to like I've never seen you post like a sponsored post, like shit people give you and say, oh, everybody go follow X, Y, and Z, or rip some bullshit distillate pen talking about, oh my god, this got me so high, everybody go check out X, Y, and Z cards. Like,
because if I was to take a sponsorship, it would actually have to be good product to me. And I'm not going to bullshit anybody, which I feel like a lot of people know. Which probably might be why I don't have a fucking bunch of sponsorships.
but we also have turned down sponsors because we didn't fuck with them. So, I mean,
Yeah. But, I mean, I just don't think everybody's an influencer. I feel like that shit in today's age has gotten blown out of proportion. Like, you got an Instagram, you post a picture, that doesn't make you an influencer.
as someone who operates retails, if you want to call yourself an influencer, you need to influence my sales. I need people to come in, drop your name, and have actual analytic data.
I got a decent example, I feel like. Bro probably didn't go into it wanting to be an influencer. Chris Smokes.
Exactly.
He just likes his fashion and
He
shit
just
and whatever he does.
Chris is he literally got the name Chris Smokes because he's always been known for having the best weed. He was always hooking up, people with weed. And, like, I've known Chris since I was a kid, like 14, 13 years old. He's just always been that cool dude. And, real recognized real. He got put on for being a real motherfucker.
That's what it is to me. Like, he didn't try to do something that he wasn't. He was just, and I can say that I feel like a lot of people are trying to be some shit they're not.
Oh, 100%.
Like, you might smoke, but you don't have to do the shit you do on Instagram or whatever social media platform. But,
No.
we got a little sidebar on the influencers there.
Yeah, but you had to voice it. But then, the influencers are, I would try to say, they're trying to fight their way into the industry and find their place in it.
They do still have a place.
They do.
But not everybody's an influencer.
No. But what I was going to get at is when you have this old boys club in cannabis that is clearly a thing. And, I mean, it is. It's the same old boys club that they have in any industry. Like,
it's high school. It's fucking high school.
It's
pretty much the jocks.
Yeah, it's like everybody who knows somebody is always thrown at the top of the list. Mm-hmm. Granted, some of the people, granted, some of the people who are thrown up at the top of the list do have the experience, do have the credentials.
Not all of them.
No, absolutely not all of them. But I do know some motherfuckers, who did run trap shops back in the day, who got plucked up by legal cannabis companies to run their operations. And
it's the same business. It's just legalized.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but that's what I'm saying. Like,
that's a smart business move, but you're also talking about the owner who goes and gets his cousin and his niece because they like weed.
Yeah.
And puts them as area manager or some shit.
Yeah, high-ranking administrative position.
They've never managed anyone. So not even on the cannabis side, but just on a professional side. Like, you've never managed anyone, done a scheduling, shit like that, talked to other businesses, and that shit shows.
Well, I think it shows the most where you're seeing the inexperience when it comes to these people with the blown-out budgets. They thought they could just throw a bunch of money at the public and see a return on their investment through their retail locations, and
nope.
The stimulus money's over. People are becoming more frugal. Like,
niggas got to go back to work.
Yeah, my man got taken off of allowance. He ain't a sugar baby no more. So, like, it
was a good 4 days.
It's getting hard out here for the consumers, for the companies. So, we're gonna see kind of what happens over the summer, and I'm curious to see what's going on. But we said we're going to get a little bit personal, and this week's topic is, worst experience caused by cannabis. Worst cannabis experience, easiest way to put it. Chuck, hit me.
Man, this is a long time ago. Good 10 years ago. I was hanging out, getting fucked up. It's probably not even my worst one. It's just a fucked up situation, right? So it's me, like my right-hand man's courting some ladies back to the crib, and I'm like done. I'm newly a smoker, right? So I'm pretty fucked up. Like, I'm not really functioning. I'm not talking and shit. So I go to the bathroom, like, to try to get myself together, and I fall asleep while pissing.
Dog food. Dog,
and
what?
I fell back and shit, and I was like, fuck. My boy came, knocked on the door. He's like, you good, bro? I was like, no, I'm about to go. So, kind of fucked up tonight. You got to know your limits. Definitely smoke responsibly.
Fucked up your night. Shit.
Extremely embarrassing. I don't think I've ever told anybody that story, so.
Gas Talk exclusive.
Gas Talk exclusive.
Like, Barbara Walters out this bitch.
Don't try
no one else heard.
Don't try to impress girls by getting high as fuck when you're not used to getting high as fuck. Because
bad things happen. You end up pissing on yourself and passing out.
That and bro's entire bathroom.
That's fucked up.
I had to clean that shit up, smell like piss, and then drive home.
You're damn
Smell
right you
like
did. I would have
piss.
made you do the same thing.
It's fucked up. But what you got for me? I don't know if it's gonna top that.
So, I always said I would. I remember I said I brought this up in one of the earlier episodes. So, New York just went legal last summer, and New York was in the spot where Detroit was in, where they were allowing dispensaries, but they weren't regulating them, so you could bring in your own product. So,
Early 2012.
yeah,
Michigan
Detroit
days.
shit, yeah. So, I go out there, peep the scene, see what it's looking like, and meet some people, and, acquire some herbal products while I'm out in New York. Hit a couple of stores, made some money, everything was Gucci. So I'm like, all right, it's the Wild Wild West out there.
Damn near still is.
Let's get busy.
This was just last year.
Yeah, let's get it in motion. Took a second trip, boom, everything went well. So
Third time's a charm.
decided to invest quite a bit of money in actually attempt to open my own spot out there. Had all the product.
Without being out there?
Had all the product, had an employee, had everything set up, was ready to go.
It's sad. This is turning real sad.
So go out there the third or fourth time. No, this was the fourth time. Link up with my people out there, and go check the product. Everything's good. See the bows, get my hands on them, get my nose on them. Everything's smooth, whatever. We go out that night. We're partying. We go to Starlets. We go, to the hookah bar. Like,
Where's the product?
the product at this point is at the store.
So what happened?
So,
Goddamn movie.
fucking movie. I go to the airport the next day. My employee said, this will be moved in a week. You can either fly back out like you've been doing, or I'm going to send you out your money. All right, cool, no problem. Week goes by. Call them. Hey, man, product moving slow. I need a little bit more time. Okay, no problem. You've been moving bows for me. Things have been working out well. Everything is, in motion. Long story short, someone didn't end up getting paid out of my deal. And that investment went bye-bye.
You lost a nice chunk of change.
Lost me a nice little...
You should have stayed out there for opening week.
Well, that was always the original plan. The original plan was I was actually going to move to New York full time. But once that happened, I'm like, the trap shit was over for me for a reason back in the day. There's no reason to bring it back up. And
No.
yeah, that was
a sign.
Yeah, that was a sign. Like I'm done with the, I like the legal side of cannabis. I'm gonna stay over here with the metric tags. Like I'm
I like the
Gucci.
legal side.
So I learned stay on the legal side of cannabis, even though that was technically the legal side in New York at the time. And I also learned that Starlets is the fucking baddest strip club in the world. Like, you know me and no free shout outs, but free fucking shout out to Starlets. I like what you're doing out there. But yeah, hands down worst experience caused by cannabis. But nothing but good experiences while I've been high, to be honest.
Good, because I was also going to ask you, what's been vibing your high lately?
Vibing my high. I guess all the events that have been popping off around. We just had the fireworks down here in Detroit yesterday. It's cool just to see the city come alive.
I stayed home.
Yeah, I know I stayed home. But yeah, that's definitely been what's vibing my high. Jumping on my bike, riding around through the city. I think I've said that before. Yeah, you see that bad little bitch right there. But Yeah, a good bike ride and a blunt's been vibing my high lately. What about yours?
Remember how I said I didn't have shit to watch? I found the show Suits.
It's a good one.
It's pretty fucking solid.
It's a good one.
So once, cause like I haven't been able just to do shit during the day. Like
Sure, baby life.
kids don't let you do shit.
I wouldn't know.
So I mean, not like so I don't watch TV. I don't fucking smoke until like 9 o'clock at night.
It's like a work day.
17 hours damn near. It's a long day because they get up at like
a doctor.
6 in the morning. Anyway, but like I sit down and I was just like, I have nothing to watch because I told you last week. And now it's like, when I get to the crib, I'm putting that shit on. So a good show and a good blunt, like a bike ride and a blunt for yourself, you know.
I definitely think I've said that one before, so I'm right there with you.
That's your thing. Unless you're going fucking snowboarding or some shit. You're, you know.
I'm posted and roasted, baby.
You and Shaq.
Me and Shaq.
Hey.
So yeah, that's what vibes your high and what you're watching right now. So those are
Oh,
two
that's a
good
two-for-one.
check. Yeah, it's a two.